I'm Jasmine Huda. When the Humane Society of Missouri rescued a litter of Basset Hound puppies, they were fighting for their lives. Their lungs were filled with pneumonia, but look at them now. After months of special care and costly treatment from the Humane Society of Missouri, they are healthy, happy, and a lot bigger.
We were contacted by the Department of Agriculture at the state of Missouri that there were 10 Basset Hounds that were needing to be rescued, and if they weren't rescued, they were sure to die. When we first arrived on the scene, the 10 Basset Hound puppies were all in one large kennel. As I picked each one up individually and I took them to the transport van, I realized that they had some serious health problems.
All of the Basset puppies had some degree of pneumonia. The worst puppies were extremely emaciated. They were going into shock from their infections and their dehydration. We sent 3 puppies over to the emergency care place. Those puppies were on IV fluids, multiple antibiotics. They were on medications to help their breathing. They were getting oxygen therapy. They were also getting what's called nebulization, misting medication down in the lungs to try and loosen up the pneumonia. We felt that these puppies deserved to have a chance to pull through and needed every opportunity possible. Of the 3 puppies, 2 didn't make it despite the efforts of the critical care place. Dogs with this type of pneumonia are contagious to other dogs, so we had to be very careful. The dogs at the critical care place were in isolation to keep them away from their other patients. The dogs we had here at the Humane Society, we were able to get into foster care as soon as they were stable to make sure that they didn't infect any other dogs with this serious pneumonia that they had.
We saw them on the news right when they were rescued, and then shortly afterwards, when she was healthy enough and her brother were healthy enough, they were fostered by our neighbor.
Well, I'm a hound person, and I knew they had Basset Hounds that they had just rescued, and I said, how about some Basset Hounds? And it just so happened that 4 of them were ready to go into foster, and so she was going to give me one of them, but I like to have 2 so that they can play with each other. So I said, how about 2? Fostering is very important because the dogs at a young age, puppies need to be socialized and have all sorts of new experiences. And in a foster home, you can do that. They're more sociable. They might even have a few manners, depending.
Gives me a little peace of mind to know that, you know, these dogs are being taken care of for the short time that they're in foster care and then can move on to their forever home.
Our other dog, Ruby, has gotten along with Pearl pretty well. You know, they're playmates and in the yard and in the house, and it does help keep each other occupied. And you know, it's just nice to have another set of legs walking around the house too.
Hi, I'm Kathy Warnick. What could be more fun than playing with a whole posse of Basset Hound puppies? However, would you believe it that these animals were at death's door? They were rescued by the Humane Society's Animal Cruelty Task Force, and not a moment too soon. We need your help to rescue more animals that are victims of abuse and neglect. Please help us rescue and return to health animals just such as these. How can you resist this space? Thank you, thank you.
The Humane Society of Missouri gave these sweet puppies emergency care. They nursed them to health for weeks after their rescue. The staff worked hard to get them into foster care, to keep them socialized, and to find them loving forever homes. That is why your donations are so important to the Humane Society of Missouri to make second chances possible for these Basset Hounds and for thousands of other suffering animals. We are about to bring you a whole program full of uplifting animal stories. You'll even get to meet some of these rescued Basset Hounds a little later. But first, here is the number to call to donate to the Humane Society of Missouri. if those Basset Hound puppies touched your heart, if you have pets at home that came from a shelter, call right now and make a donation. Our toll-free number is 877-803-0078, or you can make a secure donation on our website, hsmo.org.
The Humane Society of Missouri would like to thank our lead sponsor, Scott Trade, and our other sponsors, Purina, HeartGuard, Frontline Plus, and NextGuard, Germex, Kuhlman Design Group, Holland Construction Service, and the St. Louis Blues. Thank you to our sponsors for helping to make Second Chances possible. Call our toll-free number, 877-803-0078, or you can make a secure donation on our website, hsmo.org.
Just for this broadcast, your donation is going to help twice as many animals. Watch this special announcement from Roger Riney of Scott Trade and Humane Society of Missouri President Kathy Warnick. You also get a sneak peek at an exciting new project happening right here at the Humane Society's St. Louis City location.
Roger, it is just wonderful how you and Scott Trade have supported the Humane Society of Missouri through the years. I'd like to give you a first-hand look at the work in progress here that's going to make a huge difference for the many animals we rescue. Animals like the thousands of additional dogs and cats we've taken in from St. Louis City zip codes over the past several years. We're under construction now, but soon our St. Louis City location will house a brand new animal rescue and rehab center. Our rescue and rehab center significantly expands the space we have to care for rescued animals. We desperately need it because just in the past 5 years, we've taken in 20,000 more animals from St. Louis City zip codes than in years before. Our new Animal Rescue and Rehab Center is going to have right behind us state-of-the-art rescue kennels with automatic watering bowls, separate front and back areas for cleaning that's less stressful for the animals, a triage area for immediate examination and treatment of rescued animals, a medical isolation area to prevent the spread of disease, and lots of space for staff to provide daily care so animals can heal and find forever homes as quickly as possible.
Kathy, I'm so happy to hear the Humane Society will be there for even more homeless and abused animals. And who is this little dog you're holding on to?
This is Henry, and Henry is absolutely adorable. Henry was brought in with a buddy he's a City of St. Louis stray, if you can believe it. He's just as cute as can be. He's less than a year old, and he is heartworm positive. And you know, Roger, we have spent more than $5 million providing care for animals just like Henry that have been rescued or brought in from City of St. Louis zip codes. And we are so pleased that this new rescue and rehab center is going to enable us to do even more for animals in need.
I know you've taken good care of Henry, and he'll find a great home very soon. Kathy, we at Scott Trade admire the Humane Society of Missouri's commitment to helping more and more animals every year. We know it's a challenge, and Scott Trade would like to make it possible for you to help even more animals. So we're going to double any donation that comes in during our Second Chances Telethon. Gifts made will be matched up to $25,000. I hope everyone watching makes a donation right now so it can be doubled.
Hi everyone, I'm Megan Danahay, and I'll be reporting from the phone bank during the Second Chances Telethon. You just heard a very special announcement from Scott Trade. During this broadcast, they will match all donations up to $25,000. I'm joined now by Humane Society of Missouri President Kathy Warnick. Kathy, what does Scott Trade's matching donation mean for the animals at the Humane Society?
Megan, we are absolutely elated. I can't begin to tell you how much this means to the Humane Society of Missouri to have this matching gift from Scott Trade. Everyone who calls or goes online to make a donation will have their gift doubled. They can make a donation right now, and it's going to help twice as many homeless, abused, and neglected animals who are receiving care in our shelters.
That is outstanding news, Kathy. I can't imagine how much work goes into helping literally thousands of animals each year.
It truly takes everything we have to provide the exceptional care to get these animals nursed back to health and into loving homes. They need us, and we need everyone out there to call in or to go on our website. This is everyone's chance to help more animals than ever before.
Kathy, thank you so much. We've got some great volunteers at the phone bank right now waiting to take your call. Or make a secure donation online at hsmo.org. If you choose to make a monthly gift, you'll be part of our Humane Heroes program. We're sending all monthly donors this special gift. A monthly gift of just $20 will help so many animals. That's one dinner out a month, a couple of movie tickets. Imagine the impact your donation can have. Make a difference for a homeless animal right now. Any amount will be doubled by Scottrade up to $25,000, so now's the time. Our toll-free number is 877-803-0078. Or you can make that secure donation on our website, hsmo.org.
Up next, meet a special little dog who received great care from the Humane Society of Missouri. Clarice, now named Callie, spent the first part of her life completely blind. Some people wouldn't take on the challenge of a special needs dog, but the Humane Society of Missouri knew this pup deserved a second chance. They gave her everything she needed until she could be adopted. Well, then her new family took it a step further. See how in this inspiring story.
As far as the dogs that we've had, they've pretty much come to our house, either by way of my wife or my wife or my wife. She's pretty much brought them all home. If Tracy had her way, we would have every single dog that's out there. She brings them home and we just love them.
Brian and I have been together for about 15 years now, and the entire time we've had dogs. I would have more if I could, but we can't out here, so good thing there's a code.
When we first heard about Kelly, we it was through the Humane Society, and she was in some bad shape. She had been with some hoarders and had some medical complications, and so we wanted to get her right away, but it took about 2 weeks before we could actually get her, just from the complications that she was having.
So when she first came into us, she was completely blind. But we felt because of Clarice's personality that there was a chance that she deserved to get a second chance in a home. So Clarice was taken to a local veterinary eye specialist and evaluated. The specialist determined that Clarice was a candidate to have maybe one of her cataracts removed, so that she might attain vision in at least one eye. The other eye was probably not going to be able to ever see, even with cataract surgery.
And the very first ophthalmologist I called, the Humane Society had already taken Callie to. And he already knew Callie's condition. He knew everything about her because of the work the Humane Society had already done. The Humane Society wanted her to be rescued. There was no doubt about it. You could tell the day that I walked in the door, just the attention that she was getting and the specialness that they had already that they saw in her. And the work. I mean, they had a doctor working on her the day before I left, giving her one last round of drops in her ears. So I couldn't commend them enough for the work they did for her. She may not have made it.
We put Clarice up for adoption, letting the future adopter know that Clarice was going to need this potentially extremely expensive surgery, but Clarice did find a forever home who was able to pursue treatment for her and give her a second chance that she didn't have for the first quite a few years of her life.
Knowing she had the chance to see, and we had an ophthalmologist who was willing to put in the time and effort with us, we knew what that wasn't. If we had to pay for it on our own, we would have in a heartbeat. However, before I adopted her, we sent an email out to a few coworkers, and within about 8 hours we had the money for Callie's surgery. Called Dr. Johnson. Dr. Johnson said immediately, yes, come on in, we'll get her scheduled for surgery, and within a week she was in getting surgery and he was able to save one of her eyes. You know, it's interesting because my stepdaughter is from Portland, or she went to Portland State for school her first year, which is very go green, very, you know, ego-friendly. Everybody is, you know, recycling and doing their thing. So I think I was most impressed when she now knows that it's not designer dogs anymore, and it's about who she can help, what she can help. And the Humane Society, the very first story we did, Taylor ended up calling us saying, you know, that she was proud of us. Because we were able to help a little girl see again. To have your child to say they're proud of their parents for adopting a rescue and taking care of it is a good feeling. Sorry. So, I don't think you can get any better than this. I don't think a designer dog could beat this. This is a pretty special little being right here, and she knows it. Everybody deserves a second chance. Everybody, especially these little furry ones. And there isn't a single friend of ours that doesn't say, you know, I'll watch Callie when you go out, I'll babysit Callie, I'll do this stuff. Not that they don't love the other ones, just something about her. And pride, they're proud, they're so proud of what we did. And I know, well, since Callie, we've already helped get 2 others placed from the Humane Society. So it's an ongoing, continuing venture and success when you see rescue after rescue after rescue get placed.
What an amazing story. Imagine living most of your life completely blind, then receiving the gift of sight. That's what the Humane Society of Missouri made possible for sweet little Callie. We pulled out all the stops to give her the second chance she so richly deserved. Now she brings so much joy to her family. Callie really had a village behind her, from our great staff at the Humane Society to the family and friends raising money for her costly eye surgery. Animals really bring out the best in us. If you've ever had a pet change your life, if you have a dog or cat snuggled up to you right now, if you know your life wouldn't be the same without them, please call us right now. This amazing phone bank is standing by to take your donations, and Scott Trade is matching all gifts up to $25,000, but only during this broadcast. Set up a monthly donation and you'll become a Humane hero. We're sending all monthly donors this special gift to say thank you. Bringing in specialists, caring for animals with extraordinary medical things. These are things that happen every day at the Humane Society of Missouri, but they cost us money, lots of money. We took one look at Callie and couldn't say no. Please help the Humane Society say yes to all the animals we possibly can. Please give us a call or go online and make a donation that could change another life. Our toll-free number is 877-803-0078, or you can make a secure donation on our website, hsmo.org.
Watching, waiting for that moment where right place meets right time. And when I find it, I go for it.
At Scott Trade, we share your passion for trading. That's why we give you the edge with innovative charting and trading features, plus powerful mobile apps. And now, get up to a $2,000 cash bonus when you roll over your 401k or IRA accounts. Details at scotttrade.com/retire.
From the company that invented litter comes litter reinvented. Tidy Cats Lightweight. With a clumping litter this light and just as strong at neutralizing odor, there's only one thing to say.
Hey, toss me that litter.
Tidy Cats Lightweight. All the strength, half the weight. Now in lightweight instant action.
The Humane Society's Animal Cruelty Task Force rescued 55 Jack Russell Terrier mixes from a facility in Washington County, Missouri. This substandard, unlicensed breeding facility had horrific, unsanitary conditions. 30 of the animals were stuffed inside a trailer. The others were left to fend the elements outside in cages that could barely contain them. We had animals such as this cute pup that just are suffering from mange horribly. Look at the skin or lack thereof, hair on this pup's skin. And in addition to that, look at her eyes. She has severe cataracts, and yet the Humane Society of Missouri is going to nurse her back to health. She will be a loving, caring companion for someone once we nurse her back to health and put her up for adoption. Won't you please help us? We need your assistance to give these animals a second chance at a healthy and happy life. Please help us by supporting the Humane Society of Missouri's Animal Cruelty Fund. We need your help to provide assistance for these pups that don't have any voice. Thank you so very much.
Our next story is about a dog who just can't stay away from the Humane Society of Missouri. Win Dixie was rescued by the Animal Cruelty Task Force in 2006. He was a victim of animal hoarding. Win Dixie and nearly 100 other animals were taken from a property where they had little to eat. Sick, filthy, covered in parasites. Win Dixie's recovery was a long one. He was scared. He needed expert care and a lot of love. The Humane Society of Missouri was there to give him both. Now, almost 10 years later, his name is Charlie, and his adopters still bring him to the Humane Society's Animal Medical Center of Mid-America for the best veterinary care. Watch his inspiring story now. You will not believe it is the same dog.
When Charlie first came in, he was part of a large rescue, hoarding rescue, and he was one of about 150 dogs from this property. He came in, he had some very severe skin issues. He was almost completely bald, covered in scabs, and just had several different types of infection. He had both kinds of mange. He was forced to survive with far too many dogs on this property, and a lot of his behavioral issues stemmed from just the fact that he did not know where his next meal was coming from and who he was going to have to fight to be able to get that meal. And so he had a lot of mistrust of other dogs and even people. Charlie required a very extensive medical treatment. He required multiple examinations by a veterinarian. He required multiple diagnostic tests to diagnose and monitor his skin infections and make sure that they were being treated appropriately, as well as the cost of the medications themselves. The cost of just the behavioral training and the dedication of volunteers to help make sure that he went through those classes definitely was several thousands of dollars worth of care, as well as just all the time that was involved with the foster care and the examinations. Charlie went home about 8 years ago, and his family continues to bring him to the Animal Medical Centers of Mid-America every year for his routine care. It's been just reaffirming of our mission as an organization to be able to see an animal who was in such rough shape prior to adoption go home and thrive in a family environment. The care that we gave Charlie is indicative of the care that we would give every pet, regardless of if they were from our shelter or were from a client's home environment. We strive to give every pet top-notch veterinary care. We provide full service veterinary care with digital dental and digital full service radiography. We do a full range of surgery services from spay neuters all the way up to intricate orthopedic procedures. And we've got doctors that have all sorts of special interests in internal medicine, surgery, dentistry, you name it. We've got a doctor that provides that level of care.
I am joined now by Charlie's veterinarian at the Animal Medical Center of Mid-America. This is Dr. Travis Arndt. Dr. Arndt, that story just showed us how much Charlie went through to be rescued. Talk about that process.
Well, every animal that comes in here is going to get a complete physical examination by one of our veterinarians. And after examining Charlie, it was determined he had some really severe skin infections as well as just very poor nutrition. After we addressed those needs and worked on getting him rehabilitated, we were able to make him available for adoption.
I'm amazed at the level of care each and every animal gets at the Humane Society of Missouri. It must cost a fortune.
It does. The medical care can definitely get quite expensive. We're very committed to giving each animal the highest level of care possible so that they can start a new life. And in addition to the medications, just the spaying and neutering alone is well over $100 for each pet.
I don't know how you do it.
Donations. Donations help us be able to keep our doors open and provide care for these pets. Also, Charlie receives all of his veterinary care at one of our 3 Animal Medical Center Mid-America locations. The proceeds of that care helps provide for other pets to be able to get placed in a home.
And a lot of people don't know that. Anytime they bring their pet to the Animal Medical Center of Mid-America, they are helping shelter pets.
Yes, all 3 of our Animal Medical Center of Mid-America locations are open to the public, and we have hours 6 days a week to make it convenient for every pet owner. All of our proceeds go back to help shelter pets at the Humane Society of Missouri.
It is wonderful service. Well, you just heard Dr. Arndt. The cost to care for these rescued animals is immense. Hundreds of dollars are spent on each and every dog and cat that comes through their doors, and they cannot do it without you. These volunteers are ready to take your donations. Call right now or go online to hsmo.org and help dogs like Charlie and the many others waiting to be rescued and rehabilitated. Don't forget, Scottrade is doubling all donations up to $25,000, but only during this broadcast, so don't wait. And if you choose to set up a monthly donation, we'll send you this special gift as a thank you. Coming up, are you a St. Louis Blues fan? Cardinals? What about the Rams? Stay tuned to learn how local athletes are stepping up to help the Humane Society of Missouri spay or neuter more pets in 2015.
Hi, my name is Sue Alkire. I'm the foster coordinator at the Humane Society, and I've been here for 13 years. Fostering is a passion, pure and simple. As volunteers, we welcome the young and needy sharing our homes. While in our care, fosters are loved as our own. The mess of litter boxes and soiled paper on the floor is endured. Puppy chew marks on furniture and woeful crying through the night is tolerated. Who of us hasn't been up in the middle of the night checking on a sick one? When our gift of time is up, our loved ones are on their way to forever homes, better socialized and healthy. We have all learned to cover our tears and begin again, enduring the perpetual cycle of love and loss. We wouldn't have it any other way. Fostering is very important. We're always looking for more foster parents. If you can't foster, please give to the Humane Society of Missouri. You can change an animal's life.
For the highest quality veterinary care, bring your pet to the Animal Medical Center of Mid-America. We have 3 locations open 6 days a week to serve you. Our nationally accredited veterinary practices feature state-of-the-art equipment and compassionate care from highly skilled doctors and technicians. Best of all, when you visit the Animal Medical Center of Mid-America, you're not only helping your pet, all proceeds benefit the Humane Society of Missouri, so you're helping many other pets in need. Visit us online at amcma.org.
We know that stories like some of the ones in this telethon can be absolutely heartbreaking. We all love animals and we want to help, but sometimes we don't know how. We feel like we can never do enough, but you can help. Don't change the channel. Don't look away. Please don't think that someone else is going to do it. These animals need you. If everyone watching called right now and donated just $25, the Humane Society of Missouri would be able to help hundreds, maybe even thousands more animals. You can make a difference. You can change the life of a homeless dog or cat. Our toll-free number is 877-803-0078, or you can make a secure donation on our website, hsmo.org. Thank you so very much.
In our town, we yell, "Let's go Blues!"
In our town, we believe in brick walls.
We believe blue is the new happy!
We believe in a different kind of board meeting.
In our town, we believe we're just getting started.
Welcome back to the Humane Society of Missouri Second Chances Telethon. Now, as you can see, our phone bank has been taken over by the St. Louis Blue Crew. And hey, there's Louie. They've all shown up to support a great project that is going to help a lot of animals. The Humane Society of Missouri recently partnered with Athletes for Animals on a spay-neuter initiative. Kathy, what can you tell us about this effort?
Jasmine, we are so excited to be working with Athletes for Animals on our new Spay It Forward campaign. Pet overpopulation is a serious problem that leads to needless suffering of hundreds upon thousands of unwanted animals. We're teaming up with the Blues, Cardinals, and Rams to encourage people to spay or neuter their pets. By donating to Spay It Forward, they're going to be supporting more surgeries for animals in need.
Now, I know spay and neuter is not the most popular topic, but it's obviously the real solution to pet overpopulation. If you want to know more and see some of your favorite hometown athletes in action, watch this behind-the-scenes look at the Spay It Forward campaign.
What is that?
Scene 3 with dog.
What is it?
Look, ready? Lily's not ready. All right, here. They're like, what's going on? Hi. I could feel.
Good job, buddy.
Athletes for Animals is a culmination of about 10 years of work in the animal rescue world, where Kelly and I saw how we could impact one organization with our name and platform, and figured we could leverage our connections with other athletes to do the same thing locally and nationwide to help organizations in their area.
Hi, I'm David Backus, captain of the St. Louis Blues. Your donations will help fund hundreds of spay or neuter surgeries.
This campaign's goal is to raise $250,000 to have 2,500 spay and neuters done at HSMO, and through that it's going to make a huge impact on controlling the pet population at a responsible level.
One spayed and unneutered dog and cat can produce up to 67,000 animals in 6-7 years, and so it's really important. All these animals are winding up in shelters without homes, and let's just combat that from the front. St. Louis has such a great sports following, so by collaborating with the Rams, the Cardinals, and the Blues, I think the public will really be able to get behind that and really see the importance of spay and neuter.
Hi, I'm David Backus.
I'm Trevor Rosenthal.
And I'm Jake Long.
Join our team and Spay It Forward. Support a spay or neuter surgery for a pet in need.
The Humane Society of Missouri and Athletes for Animals are teaming up to dramatically curb pet overpopulation in St. Louis.
Donate today to Spay It Forward at the Humane Society website, hsmo.org.
Together we can make a big difference for homeless animals. Spay It Forward.
What a great campaign, Kathy. It is wonderful to see these guys stepping up to help these animals. We hope everyone watching out there will help the Humane Society of Missouri and Athletes for Animals spay it forward.
Our first dog in our pet parade today is Manny. Manny is a wonderful, just adorable, cute little pup who was found wrapped in a blanket by the side of the road. Can you believe it? He had a broken jaw when he came in. He is still undergoing treatment and care right now. He'll be made available for adoption shortly, but he is a terrific little pup. Isn't he
He
cute?
looks fantastic too when you think of what he's been through.
Absolutely. Our next pup is Henry. Henry is a Fox Terrier mix. He came into the Humane Society of Missouri as a stray, and Henry is only a year old, but he is already heartworm positive, which is just heartbreaking for us. However, he's going to be treated, he will be recuperated and be adopted into a loving, caring home, and he is a sweetheart. I've held Henry and played with him, and he is absolutely adorable.
Looks adorable, absolutely.
Our next pup is an absolutely adorable Chihuahua named Miki. Miki came to us from a shelter all the way from Phoenix, Arizona, if you can believe it, and now she's in St. Louis and adjusting to the temperatures here versus Arizona. Isn't she sweet looking, Jasmine?
She is so sweet. Look at that face.
And she is also going to make somebody a wonderful companion. She's a little bit shy right now, having come all the way from Arizona, but I think that once she settles in, she's going to make someone a terrific, terrific addition to their family. Our next pup is named Puck. P-U-C-K, very appropriate in that Puck belongs to a member of the Blues Cruise. This is Emily, and Emily, tell us a little bit about Puck and how you acquired Puck from the Humane Society of Missouri. It's a cute story.
Yeah, well, we adopted Puck about a month ago, and he's just been the best dog that we've ever had. My family and I were just diehard hockey fans, and we're also really into Shakespeare, so that's how we got his name.
Very cute. We can tell he's so comfortable in your arms, and he's got a great home. Good for you for adopting, and good for Puck too. You really look like you're made for each other.
And Kathy, how can you not fall in love with this next guy here?
He is one of the Basset Hound pups that we rescued from dire, dire conditions that you learned about earlier in the show, and he has recuperated beautifully. His name is Watson. He is absolutely healthy and happy, and that's the most important thing for us.
That is a perfect example of what this means.
Absolutely, and what the Second Chances Telethon is all about.
It is so much fun to see all of these cute pets, but as cute as they are, they also cost money to care for. Some were rescued, some came in as strays, some were given up by their families. Whatever the circumstances, the Humane Society of Missouri is here for them now. They have a warm place to sleep, plenty to eat, access to top-notch veterinary care. Please make these phones ring right now. Call and donate. Scottrade is going to match that donation and make it count double. This is your chance. Do it for the adorable pets you just saw, or make a gift in honor of your pet. Volunteers are standing by to take your call, or go online to hsmo.org and make a secure donation. We are also giving away this great gift to anyone who sets up a monthly donation to the Humane Society of Missouri. Become a humane hero during this broadcast, and we'll send one your way. Our toll-free number, 877-803-0078, or you can make a secure donation on our website, hsmo.org.
Rush hour around here starts at 6:30 a.m. on the nose. But for me, it starts with the opening bell. And the rush I get lasts way more than an hour.
At Scottrade, we share your passion for trading. That's why we've built powerful technology to alert you to your next opportunity. Because at Scottrade, our passion is to power yours.
Well, you might not know it, but the Humane Society of Missouri also rescues and rehabilitates horses and farm animals. Longmeadow Rescue Ranch is located in Union, Missouri. It is an amazing place where thousands of horses, chickens, goats, even llamas have received a second chance. One special horse named Kingpin got his second chance with an amazing girl named Casey. In part one of their story, see how powerful the bond between a girl and her horse can be, and why horses deserve a second chance just as any other animal in need.
My name is Casey, and I ride horses, and I play volleyball, and I swim. I've been riding horses since I was 8, and I've just loved them ever since. It's my passion. It's what I love to do.
Well, I had horses when I was younger, and I had horses when my children were younger, and Casey really loved having lessons. And I would go with her from time to time, and it seemed like she was always riding a different horse. And I always felt like there's nothing like having your own horse to perfect your riding skills. So last spring, I said to her, you know what, I'm thinking about getting you your own horse. And of course, she was over the moon about that.
I was just so happy and so anxious to go somewhere and just look at horses, and we went to Longmeadow. Longmeadow is a part of the Humane Society of Missouri, and instead of it being for dogs and cats, it's for horses and farm animals. I just was walking down the aisles, and King just caught my eye, and I just fell in love with him. I begged her into letting me put him on hold, and then I came back a couple days later to try him out and ride him around the arena and see how he does and how we work together, and we did great, and so we put him on hold, and we finally adopted him.
They loved him right away. His just lovable personality won them over. And they made a really great decision to keep Kingpin in our training program so that we could continue training him, they could continue to get to know him better. Casey also came out during that training time and took lessons with our trainer and Kingpin, so that helped develop that relationship with them. and also made it a much more successful adoption than it could have been if somebody hadn't devoted all of that time. And it just made Kingpin turn into the wonderful horse that he is today.
He's everything I could have asked for. He's a great horse, and so is Sassy. My Nana influenced me to love horses because she's told me lots and lots of stories of when she had horses, and she loves to be out there with me, and I always love to be there with her. It's not the same when she's not there, so.
She has spent so much loving time with these horses that it's been wonderful for her, wonderful for me to see, and wonderful for us to be able to spend that time together, because I don't go out and drop her off at the barn. I stay with her and you know, coach her through some of the basics, and of course she's still learning. I mean, it's a lifelong process.
There is a ton to learn about when you have a horse. There isn't really a limit on what you can know. To care for a horse, you have to brush them down. You have to pick their hooves to make sure they don't have any rocks in them. It's important to spend time with them also because you can create a bond with them, and that's important. When you ride, you work as one, and a strong bond is important for that.
When I watch her riding, it's a sort of a little deja vu for me, because I rode when I was younger, and that joy and that love of riding and the horses, and I see that on her face and see how good she is at what she does. What a blessing it is to be able to see the beauty of my granddaughter and the animal out there together in that riding ring.
I just hug him and love on him, and I like to teach him little tricks like how to smile or how to hug or how to kiss, and he does really good with those, and it's just fun to go out there and be like, smile, and with a treat, you know, and he smiles.
The subtleties of communication is what you practice when you're bonding with a horse. And you know, prior to this, Casey did not have all that confidence. In just a short period of time since we adopted the horses, she has become more and more confident. And so it's been very therapeutic from the standpoint of seeing her grow in that direction because of her accomplishments with the horses. I can't think of any better way that I could spend time with my granddaughter. I mean, whether I bought tickets and took her to the Muni or took her to the Fox and spent time with her like that, I'm not saying that that isn't a valuable thing to do. However, this is like a hands-on thing that we're doing together.
What a touching story. And Kingpin was just one out of 25 horses that were rescued by the Humane Society of Missouri. The Longmeadow Rescue Ranch puts a lot of hard work into getting abused farm animals healthy. Expert care, extensive training, special food, and loads of TLC. But it comes at a hefty price tag. That is why I'm asking you right now to donate. $100 helps feed a rescued horse like Kingpin, and if you call right now, Scottrade will double that donation as you can help twice as many animals in need. Our toll-free number, 877-803-0078, or you can make a secure donation on our website, hsmo.org.
The Humane Society of Missouri would like to thank our lead sponsor, Scottrade, and our other sponsors, Purina, HeartGuard, Frontline Plus, and NextGuard, Germex, Kuhlman Design Group, Holland Construction Service, and the St. Louis Blues. Thank you to our sponsors for helping to make Second Chances possible. call our toll-free number, 877-803-0078. Or you can make a secure donation on our website, hsmo.org.
We have seen a lot of great dog stories during the Second Chances Telethon. Now it is time to meet a cat who benefited from the Humane Society of Missouri's wonderful care. Atticus came to the Humane Society with a fractured leg. His owners could no longer care for him, so the veterinarians at the Humane Society of Missouri stepped up to give him the treatment he needed. Shelter staff sped up Atticus's healing time with daily physical therapy sessions. See what this cute kitty is up to today.
Atticus was a real staff favorite when he was with us. Everyone was committed and invested in his recovery, and because he had spent quite a bit of time with us, and over now 2 stays, we came to love him and care for him like he was our very own. Based on the types of injuries he sustained, they were able to surmise that he had most likely got into an altercation with a critter outdoors. Being that he's a domesticated house cat, he really was no match for whatever it was that he met up with. It took us about a month to get Atticus healed to a point where we felt he was ready for adoption.
The day that I found Atticus, I happened to be in the area, and as I was driving by, my daughter happened to see the Humane Society, and she said, "Mom, please, 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 can we go in?" And I said, "Okay, we can go in, but we're not leaving with anything." And we went in there, and as soon as I walked in, I saw this little black cat, and he was looking right at me with these big eyes, and he was just so sweet. He just wanted to be petted, and he was purring, and I asked to hold him, and it was all over after that.
Atticus is really cuddly and fun.
When I first got Atticus, they gave me a binder full of all of his medical background. They gave me health insurance for him. For the first month, they cover his veterinary insurance. I got sent home with a bag of cat food, of the special cat food that he was taking because he had the stomach issue. So they pretty much gave me everything that I needed, that I would need to go home with him that day. Since I brought Atticus to my house, he has been absolutely wonderful. He wakes me up every morning in the sweetest way. He jumps on my chest and he starts rubbing my head with his head, and he purrs. And when I come home, he's always at the door to greet me. He's just the sweetest cat I've ever had. Since I've had Atticus, Alyssa, my daughter, she has been very helpful. She helps me with the litter box. She helps me feed Atticus, brush Atticus. She plays with Atticus.
He likes if you have a string or something and you kind of act like it's a little animal and stuff, and he chases it.
For people who are considering adopting an animal from the Humane Society, I would say that it gives you the most satisfying feeling to help these animals that don't have anywhere to go and to give them the love that they absolutely deserve.
Doesn't it warm your heart to see how much the Humane Society of Missouri and our staff care about each and every animal? Atticus showed up at our shelter with a broken leg. After great care, he's now enjoying life in a wonderful, wonderful home. Whether you're a cat person or a dog person or even a horse person, you know your donations are going to a great cause. A gift of $50 deworms 4 kittens. $100 pays for 10 days of shelter care. And during this program, every dollar you donate is matched by Scott Trade. Make a donation knowing that all of us at the Humane Society of Missouri are going to use it to care for cats like Atticus, cats who can't heal their own broken bones. We gave him a second chance. Now we need you to make more second chances possible. If you choose to make a monthly donation, you'll get this great gift in the mail. You could give $20 a month to the Humane Society of Missouri, and it's going to go so far. $20 a month. That's only a few cups of coffee at Starbucks or a dinner out. Wouldn't you trade that to keep a homeless animal from suffering? Our toll-free number is 877-803-0078, or you can make a secure donation on our website, hsmo.org. Our wonderful phone bank volunteers are standing by to take your call.
Stella, have you lost weight? I'm telling you, it's this new cut.
You look pretty.
Don't I know it? Wait till the boys at day camp get a look at us.
Kennelwood Pet Resorts, grooming services and ShedX treatments trusted by St. Louis's best-looking pets.
Visit our newest Kennelwood Spa location at the Humane Society of Missouri on Mackland Avenue, where your pet can enjoy a complete pampering spa experience.
Have you always wanted a ranch animal of your very own, but it wouldn't fit in your living room? Sponsor a Barn Buddy. The Longmeadow Rescue Ranch Barn Buddy program helps feed, board, and provide care for the ranch animal of your choice. Choose from horses, llamas, goats, chickens, potbelly pigs, and many other adorable animals. Barn Buddies make great gifts for family and friends. Every sponsorship comes with an official certificate of adoption, fact sheet, and commemorative photo. View all of the Barn Buddies online and sponsor today.
One of the best parts of pet ownership is coming home to your loyal dog or cat after a hard day. The way they wait for you at the door, they are so happy to see you. But what instead of coming home to a dog, you came home to your pet goats? That is exactly what life is like for the family in our next story. After you see how much fun they have, you may just decide to adopt a goat from the Longmeadow Rescue Ranch. Take a look.
We had a very large rescue from a hoarder in the fall of 2013, and there were numerous adult goats involved in that rescue. All of the adult goats were also unfortunately diseased, and they had a couple of different very contagious diseases where when they gave birth, if we hadn't made the effort that we did to pull those babies as they were born, then they would have contracted the same diseases that their parents had, and they would have had to have been euthanized. Through the winter, we did 24-hour watches, and so this was for about a 2 to 3 month time. We had employees working around the clock. We were watching the females for signs of giving birth. As soon as they did, we were pulling babies as they were born, which was difficult for us to do, to remove them from their moms, but it was the only thing that was going to give those kids a chance to be able to grow up and to be able to find homes for them. And we were also bottle feeding them. I mean, you pull a newborn baby and you have to bottle feed them about every 45 minutes initially. So it was a lot of work, a lot of investment, but well worth the time, because we ended up with these great animals that are now living in homes and they're extremely happy.
We're pretty lucky. This is a private lane. Across the street we got 3 horses. The neighbor down the street has 4 horses. So it's pretty rural, and we're less than 20 miles from the arch.
Well, I think St. Louis is really neat because I live in a major metropolitan area, and yet I have farm animals. It's like the best of both worlds. The goats are just like miniature versions of any other farm animal, but easier to care for and just really enjoyable to have. And people love to come over, and kids love to come over and play with the goats, and they're very friendly.
We have 3 different areas. One is the barnyard. It's a 1/4 acre. It's fenced in. We can open that up to what we call the pasture, and that's a 1/2 acre. So they can have access to the 1/4 acre, and then they can go over to the 1/2 acre. And then we can open it up to what we call the back 40. And it's got a little section of woods, and it backs up to a park, and they just go wherever they want all day long. They have a good old time here.
They're pretty easy care. They're much easier to care for than, say, a dog or a cat. We provide housing for them, obviously. They do eat a small amount of goat chow each day, but other than that, they fill themselves on all of the weeds that we don't want anyway. So it's a win-win situation. They are very unique individuals. They're like dogs. They have their own personalities. They're all 3 very different. Pepsi's probably the alpha goat. He's in charge, and he eats first, and eats as much as he wants, but he's also the sweetest to humans. Charlie, or Charlie Goat as we call him, is a little shyer around humans, but he can take care of himself with the other goats, and Colby is the sweetheart. Colby's the little one and the one that just runs when you go out there, is so happy to see you, likes to give kisses, and so I guess I shouldn't say I have a favorite, but it might be Colby.
Who knew that pet goats could be so much fun? Longmeadow Rescue Ranch does such a great job caring for rescued farm animals. They give second chances to animals that most people wouldn't even know needed rescuing. The Humane Society of Missouri is committed to helping all animals in need. One person's goat is another person's Labrador Retriever. The point is to make a great life possible for all animals. They can't help themselves, and the Humane Society can't help them without you. Please give us a call right now or go online to make a secure donation. Every dollar stays in our community, and every dollar will be matched by Scottrade. The Humane Society of Missouri receives no government funding. We aren't part of a national animal welfare organization. It's up to animal lovers like you to keep us going. Our toll-free number is 877-803-0078, or you can make a secure donation on our website, hsmo.org. Make a monthly donation and receive this great I'm a Humane Hero tumbler. After a quick break, you'll get a first look at plans for our new Humane Society of Missouri location. Learn how we plan to help even more animals at the new Best Buddy Pet Center in Maryland Heights.
Our intake varies daily. I've seen upwards of 60 animals come in on one day. We don't turn anything away, so we really never know what we're getting from day to day. Because we don't turn any animals away, that's why donations are so important to us. Each animal that comes through, we're going to give it veterinary care. We're going to fix it if necessary. We have a lot of staff that provide excellent care to these animals. Please help us by donating to the Second Chances Telethon. The animals are counting on you.
From the company that invented litter comes litter reinvented. Tidy Cats Lightweight. With a clumping litter this light and just as strong at neutralizing odor, there's only one thing to say.
Hey, toss me that litter.
Tidy Cats Lightweight. All the strength, half the weight. Now in lightweight instant action.
We yell, "Let's go Blues!"
In our town, we believe in brick walls.
We believe blue is the new happy!
We believe in a different kind of board meeting.
In our town, we believe we're just getting started.
Today, I believe we are truly making history for the cause of animal welfare throughout Missouri and the entire bi-state area. Truly, a new day for pets is coming. Okay, 1, 2, 3.
Well, the first thing I can tell you is that we're very appreciative of the fact that for over 3 decades, people have literally gone on a treasure hunt to try to find our other location. It's really been off the beaten path. And the beauty of the new facility is that it is very, very accessible. It's just east of 270 on Page, at the corner of Page and Schutz. So it's readily accessible from east or west all the way out into St. Charles County now that the Page Avenue Expressway goes that direction. And then of course the proximity to 270 means that not only within the St. Louis area, the metropolitan area, but all the way into Illinois, people can get to us from north-south direction. So again, we're wanting to make ourselves accessible and feel as though the location, the facility, and the personnel that will staff the facility will all be able to really open our arms to all of the pets in the area.
The Best Buddy Pet Center and Animal Medical Center of Mid-America will be modeled after the Humane Society of Missouri's existing facility in Chesterfield Valley and will bring pets and people together in the friendliest, most inviting environment possible. Potential adopters will first be greeted in an attractive, colorful lobby by adorable adoptive dogs and cats lounging in pet penthouses designed for maximum pet and people interaction. In the new center, families will have the opportunity to view adoptable dogs through a tempered glass front, separated from the rear kennel by a guillotine door to make cleaning easier and less stressful for the animals. Visit with their potential pet companion in a more spacious and comfortable Get Acquainted room. Learn about the opportunities to join an obedience training session, or to enroll a child in a humane education class held in the Community Education and Best Buddy Obedience Center. The Humane Society of Missouri has a clear vision for the future of animal welfare in the St. Louis region. Create an inviting, spacious, top-notch facility that will benefit more people and pets. Facilitate more adoptions and offer the very best in veterinary care to more animals in the community.
We'll have state-of-the-art digital radiography available at the new facility. We'll have something at the new facility we've not offered at the other two, and that is physical therapy. Underwater treadmill, we do laser therapy, there's the possibility of doing acupuncture. So a number of ways of tying it into the surgery, being able to follow up and not just do the operation, but help the owner and the pet through the recuperative period. We will have much more exam room space. We'll have a total of 7 exam rooms, 6 of which will be the standard exam rooms, 1 of which will be a special comfort room, because unfortunately in veterinary medicine there are times when people need some time to themselves, so we'll be able to accommodate the needs of our clients in that regard. We'll have a full dental suite with digital dental radiography, again something that historically we've not been able to offer to our clients. So the list goes on and on. We certainly will have more space, state-of-the-art facilities, and really are very, very proud of what we'll have to offer to the public.
Well, you just got a sneak peek at plans for a new adoption center and veterinary clinic in Maryland Heights. Kathy, what about this new center has you the most excited?
There are so many things to be excited about, Jasmine. The new Best Buddy Pet Center is going to allow the Humane Society of Missouri to provide excellent care to even more animals who need us. We'll be able to give more clients nationally accredited veterinary care, and best of all, it means second chances for more animals in our community.
That is wonderful news. I look forward to hearing more about it in the near future. If you are out there watching and you want to make more second chances possible, call right now. A donation of $50 will vaccinate 2 shelter animals. $100 pays for 10 days of shelter care for a homeless dog or cat. And just for this broadcast, whatever amount you can give will count double. Scottrade is matching donations up to $25,000, and anyone who becomes a monthly donor is going to receive a great tumbler as a thank you gift. Let's see how Megan's doing over there at the phone bank.
Thanks, Jasmine. The phones are ringing steadily, but we really need them to ring a little bit more. I want to take a minute to introduce 2 volunteers. We've got a couple of folks here. They're not only volunteers, but they are very valued Humane Society of Missouri parents, too. What is your name?
I'm Mike Opperman.
Mike Opperman, and yours?
Hi, Judy Shaljo.
Hey, Judy and Mike. Thanks so much for being here. Thanks for taking phone calls. Now, you rescued who?
Well, it was a mutual rescue. Darcy, who will be 7 shortly, was a 6-week-old puppy, a cockapoo to be specific, and she gives doses of unconditional love every day.
Every day?
Every day.
And she's healthy and happy?
She is, and she is just a blessing in our lives every day.
I love it. Now, you have 2 cats.
Yes, I do. And Jimmy's the one that is my recent adoption, and really he picked me. I walked into that cat room and he was the only one that talked to me. So I said, buddy, you get to go home.
And that made him very, very happy, I'm sure. Thank you for rescuing, or maybe we should thank them for rescuing you too. We want you to call right now. Call for your pet. Call for the stray cat on your block. Your money is going to stay local and help animals right here in this community. The Humane Society of Missouri has been helping animals for more than 100 years. 100 years. And they've done it because of your donations. Please pick up the phone. Call now and help homeless animals. Scottrade, remember, is going to double your donation during this broadcast. Our toll-free number is 877-803-0078, or you can make that secure donation on our website, hsmo.org.
Summer is cool at the Humane Society of Missouri. Do you know a child who loves animals? Register them for our Animal Adventure Day Camps. With a handful of exciting pet-themed programs, there's something for everyone. Spend an afternoon in our classroom learning about dogs, cats, and critters. Then visit with a furry friend from a Humane Society shelter. Every program features a hands-on activity and teaches important lessons about animal care. Space is limited. Register today at hsmo.org/education.
Every year, thousands of pets go missing from the St. Louis area, never to see their families again. Thanks to the efforts of the Humane Society of Missouri, APA of Missouri, and St. Louis County Animal Care, more happy reunions are taking place between people and their lost pets. STLLostPets.org was launched last March as a resource for the metro area. Pet owners can file a lost pet report, scan the database of found pets, and connect with each other on social media to spread the word about their missing dog or cat. Dozens of animals have been returned home safely thanks to STL Lost Pets. Animals like Bailey, a blind and deaf 13-year-old beagle whose owner spotted him on the STL Lost Pets website 5 days after he went missing. And cats like Furby, a long-haired Siamese who ran out of the house and ended up at a Humane Society of Missouri shelter. We hope you never lose your pet, but if you do, log on to STLLostPets.org and visit us on Facebook and Twitter to help bring them home. The next part of our story is one of the most emotional we have ever had on this program. The Humane Society of Missouri spends every day healing broken, abused, and neglected animals. But this story is a reminder of how animals can heal us.
Well, we do a family reunion every year down in Destin, and it was during that family reunion week that includes Thanksgiving that Casey went to the emergency room down there because of a headache.
And they did a quick CT scan on my brain just to see how it is and if there's anything wrong. And sure enough, they found something and they didn't know what it was. And they said to immediately get an MRI appointment when you get home.
I couldn't even entertain the thought of it. I kept saying, it must be artifact, it can't be that there's anything wrong. I mean, my gosh, I've been watching this kid riding horses and doing all kinds of things that required a lot of coordination and athletic ability, and she's fine. So I was in a total state of denial. My daughter was in full-blown state of anxiety over the whole situation, and understandably so.
I did the MRI and they had a talk with me a week later and they said it was a brain tumor. I mean, I thought of not being able to ride again, and that scared me. And I thought of just not being able to do what I love, being around horses and riding.
And so I'm very worried about her, as well as being worried about Casey. And worried about Dad too, because the sun rises and sets on Casey. She's the firstest with the mostest.
I had a biopsy 2 weeks after Christmas, and I could hardly enjoy my Christmas break because I was so worried about this biopsy, and I was just scared of the risks and just of like waking up from the surgery and how I would feel then, and about the treatments and what the tumor is. I woke up in the ICU. I was just scared that I would ever be normal again, but I was really worried about King and going out to see him and riding again.
She was always thinking about the horses at a time when she could have been thinking about something that was much more stressful as it relates to her health. So I felt like the horses just kept her spirits afloat. She had that hope out there that, you know, she was going to be back in the saddle again before too long.
One of the things about horseback riding that I can say from when I was younger and when I have time to ride is that when you're riding a horse, everything else just melts away. And you're only thinking about your motion at the time, and you're controlling this over 1,000-pound animal, going over jumps, running in circles, and you're not thinking about all those troubles outside of life because you have to be focused in the moment. And so I think that helps a lot with your healing process.
Who would have thought that I would have got these horses at the time I did? And they'd be something that was so important to Casey. Her whole life was wrapped up around these two horses and riding them and taking care of them. What a wonderful thing it was that this happened at the time that it did. The horses ended up doing something for us rather than it being a one-way street that we were doing something good for the rescue horses.
Well, I don't think I could have gotten through these times without him. It just brings me so much joy, and it just takes me to another place.
I'm back at the phone bank, and of course the phones are ringing steadily, but we need them to ring more. I want to introduce you to two special volunteers who are answering phones now, Casey and Suzanne. Of course, we heard the very powerful and inspirational story earlier of Kingpin, and I just want to ask you what Kingpin has meant to your recovery, to the things that you've faced, these challenges.
I just couldn't wait to get better and ride him. He's pretty much all I thought about, and he just helped me go through school. He helped me grow up.
That's pretty amazing. And Suzanne, you know, you think you're going to rescue an animal. What did Kingpin really do?
Well, when we brought him home from Long Meadow Rescue Ranch last summer, we did think we were doing a good thing rescuing a horse. But it didn't take long before we started wondering who was rescuing who. It was like perfect timing that we had adopted him when we did, because it was so wonderful for Casey to have that to look forward to.
And it's amazing, and we're so glad that you are doing better. We're so happy that Casey's making a road to full recovery. Kingpin has this amazing home, and what an inspiring story. It's amazing the effect animals can have on our lives, on our health. They give us so much. They give us something to really fight for. Donate now and make more amazing stories like this possible. Rescue starts with you. Without your support, the Humane Society of Missouri could never have matched Kingpin with Casey. They believe all animals matter: dogs, cats, horses, even goats and chickens. Long Meadow Rescue Ranch is an amazing place where so many animals get second chances. Call now or go to hsmo.org to make a secure donation. Scottrade is going to double every penny you donate up to $25,000, but only during this broadcast. Our toll-free number is 877-803-0078, or you can make a secure donation at our website, hsmo.org.
This next story might be a little hard to watch, but it makes me glad that the Humane Society of Missouri exists to help abused animals. Luke, a Newfie, was suffering badly. His collar was put on so tightly, it actually embedded itself into his skin. Luke was a victim of serious neglect. An embedded collar is so painful, it is horrific to even think about. The Humane Society of Missouri came to Luke's aid. They expertly removed the collar and monitored him closely to make sure no infections set in. Best of all, the Humane Society was able to give Luke a second chance by adopting him to a family that would never neglect him. Take a look at Luke's story.
We had received a complaint about a canine with an embedded collar. It had been reported that the injury was completely around the neck, the complete circumference of the neck. We responded. A warrant was secured by the Lincoln County Sheriff's Office. We were able to go onto the property and secure the animal via the warrant.
When Luke came in spring of 2014, he was in very bad condition. He was more than 10 pounds underweight. He had a deeply embedded nylon collar on around his neck. The nylon collar was so tight that it was digging an inch into his neck. Luke required extensive medical and surgical treatment to recover. First, we had to remove that collar, get his wounds cleaned up. In between, Luke was on pill medication and on treatment, topical treatments and bandage changes on a regular basis for weeks. And then Luke finally was at the point where we could do surgery on him to try and assist in removing some of the extensive scar tissue that had initially built up because of how prolonged the collar had been on his neck. It took him quite a prolonged period to recover from this. He was one of the worst ones we've had in the last couple of years, and so his recovery extended over 6 or 8 weeks. It took quite a long time before he was ready to go up for adoption.
My dog, he's a really good dog. He's really happy and joyful all the time, and he loves playing or going on long walks, and he has lots of energy. And then when he uses up all that energy, it's just like a giant blob, kind of like a sloth. It's just really slow moving.
Originally, I was thinking I would get a purebred Newfoundland, and then I thought about it a little bit more, and I figured there were plenty of dogs out there that really needed a home.
I walk into the shelter, and then you walk past all the cute little puppies. You think, oh, well, I want a puppy instead of a giant dog. But then you see him, and you realize that I want the big dog. At first, I was a little scared because he kind of jumped up on the glass, but after interacting with him and visiting with him, you just realize how much of like a playful spirit he has and how much personality he really has and how he could really play into this family.
The first time I saw Luke at the shelter was quite intimidating. I looked down, and here was this massive dog jumping and barking at me on the inside of his plexiglass cage. But then in the back of my mind, I was like, well, I told myself if they had a Newfoundland, I needed to explore it. I actually had 2 kids at summer camp when I first saw Luke. Sophie, my oldest, she knew about it. The 2 youngest, they had a surprise when they came home.
Well, I was in the car coming home from sleepaway camp, and my mom's like, so hey, do you guys want to have a surprise? And we're like, yeah, sure. And she said, okay, you guys have 3 guesses, and then if you don't get it, then I'll tell you. So we guessed random things like a chair or a rug, and then we didn't get it. So she's like, she took her phone out and she showed us her phone, and there was like a little dog sitting on his bed.
Sam, the youngest, sits behind me in the car, and he saw the pictures of Luke. His first reaction was,
what, we got a dog?
And then Nina, who is excited, says, you got a dog? So mixed reactions because Sam had in the past been scared of dogs.
And now Luke made me like dogs. He always is happy.
I mean, when I see him running around in the yard, he's a goofball. He just zooms around and it's all play. Luke has done so much for the kids as far as having him to hang out with, having him to be with us, having him to go on a walk together. And there was just more family time. We would go on a walk because of Luke, which just allowed us to spend time together.
The most fun I have with him is definitely playing with him and taking him on walks because he's just so full of energy. How something could have that much energy and be so happy like that. It's just really encouraging.
There are 3 felines in the family, and Luke really wants to be friends with them. Let's just say it's not reciprocal.
He's just always really happy, and I think it kind of like rubs off on me, or if I'm in a bad mood, maybe he'll make me happier.
It's just been a lot of fun. There are silly stories when the kids come home from school. I tell them what Luke did. So there are just these funny little stories that we have now that have just enhanced our lives.
If I could do anything for Luke, it would be to take away his past and make sure that his life would have been great from the start.
I know with Luke alone having multiple surgeries just for his neck, but then he's also neutered, I know that that's a tremendous expense that as the adoptive parent, I didn't have to incur, which it makes it feasible for pretty much anybody to adopt a dog.
Jasmine, I could hardly watch that story. Luke's embedded collar looked so painful.
Oh, I'm sure it was. For even to get to that point, that really takes some serious neglect. He needed a lot of help, and the Humane Society of Missouri put a lot of heart into it, keeping a close eye on him, finding him a great forever home he definitely deserved. A second chance.
Could you imagine how much worse Luke's life could have been without the Humane Society of Missouri?
No, and it's not just Luke, but so many animals would be in worse shape without a safe place to go. That is why everyone should donate during this telethon.
Your gift of $50 provides deworming treatments for 4 puppies. A $100 donation pays for an animal's spay or neuter surgery. And a generous gift of $250 helps dogs like Luke get extra special medical care when they need it most.
It certainly goes a long way. And don't forget, our lead sponsor, Scottrade, has generously agreed to match any donations made during this program. So pick up the phone, call us now to help twice as many animals in need.
We're back at the phone bank, and we really need to get these phones ringing right now. How many of you are not on the phone? Raise your hands. Put them up. All right, don't put those hands down until the phones are ringing. We've got to get donations. They're being doubled right now. This is big time, big time.
This is the time to call. As Megan said, Scottrade is going to double your donations. Call now, help these animals in need, and do it in honor of your pet. If you do have a pet, now is the time to call.
Or a loved pet that you've lost, maybe. $25, remember, can provide the deworming treatments for 4 puppies. $50 can cover a spay or neuter surgery, and that's one of the most important things we can do at Animal Rescue.
And they can't do it without your help, so please call.
The Humane Society of Missouri would like to thank our lead sponsor, Scottrade, and our other sponsors, Purina, HeartGuard, Frontline Plus, and NextGuard, Germex, Kuhlman Design Group, Holland Construction Service, and the St. Louis Blues. Thank you to our sponsors for helping to make Second Chances possible. Call our toll-free number, 877-803-0078, or you can make a secure donation on our website, hsmo.org.
Watching, waiting for that moment where right place meets right time. And when I find it, I go for it.
At Scottrade, we share your passion for trading. That's why we give you the edge with innovative charting and trading features, plus powerful mobile apps. And now, get up to a $2,000 cash bonus when you roll over your 401k or IRA accounts. Details at scottrade.com/retire.
A litter of Basset Hound puppies, gasping for every breath, near death in a licensed dog breeding facility. Rescued by the Humane Society of Missouri's Animal Cruelty Task Force. Lovingly nursed back to health by Humane Society of Missouri veterinarians, shelter staff, and foster parents. Now living in wonderful forever homes. Believe you can make a difference.
Well, we promised you more adorable Basset hounds, and here they are. If you are just joining us, these sweet babies suffered terribly at the beginning of their lives. They had pneumonia, they could barely breathe, they were truly on death's door. But look how big and strong they are in just a few months' time.
They really are just about the cutest things I've ever seen.
We are so happy these Basset hounds made such a strong recovery. I was there the day they were rescued, and the outlook was so grim. They are a true testament to the fantastic staff working at the Humane Society of Missouri, from the Animal Cruelty Task Force who rescued them to the amazing veterinarians who treated their illnesses, and the compassionate staff who kept them comfortable day in and day out. Everyone gave their all to make second chances possible for these sweet dogs.
They are sweet, and we have seen so many great rescue stories during this telethon. Bringing these happy, healthy dogs out seems like the perfect way to close our show. Well, before we end the show, I just want those of you watching at home to do something for me. Close your eyes. Imagine 10 animals showed up at your doorstep right now. Now there are 20. Now there are 50. They are all hungry, some are very sick, some have been horribly abused. What would you do? Would you ask for help? This is the challenge the Humane Society of Missouri faces every single day, and they are asking for your help. You can't turn these animals away. They won't turn these animals away. Help ensure that they will always be there for these homeless, abused, and unwanted pets.
This is your last chance to call. It's your last chance to have whatever amount you donate doubled by Scottrade. They're going to match all gifts up to $25,000, but you have to pick up the phone right now. Donate for dogs like Luke, for cats like Atticus, for the incredible loving bond that Casey has with her horse, Kingpin.
The Humane Society of Missouri couldn't do any of this without your donations, so make the call right now. Volunteers are standing by at the phone bank to help you make your gift. A gift that for just a few more minutes goes twice as far thanks to Scottrade.
Thank you, Jasmine, and thank you, Megan, and thanks to everyone watching who has called or gone online during this program to make a gift. These are just a handful of the animals helped by the Humane Society of Missouri. There are hundreds upon thousands more that will come through our doors this year, and we won't turn a single one of them away. Thank you for watching. Thank you for donating. Thank you for making second chances possible for animals in need.